Hi guys, this is the first in a series of hopefully 24 fictional deaths written by various friends of mine for my 24th birthday. I decided to start with this one. It's one I wrote myself, both as a bit of inspiration to those people that haven't quite finished theirs yet, and as well as that, also an introduction to the series as a whole, a brief explanation of why something like this might be happening. Indecision. All things considered, the birthday was going well so far. Russ had spent the afternoon sitting on the couch with a book, drinking tea, then tequila, then more tea. Later that evening there would be the internet, a slow dredge through Facebook determining which people couldn't muster up the energy to type a few words of goodwill, which was hypocritical, he knew, as he rarely summoned the energy to repay the favour when other people had birthdays. But none of that now. There was still a half bottle of tequila left. This was going to be a peaceful afternoon. And that's when the time traveller crashed into the dining room table. Russ dragged himself up onto the arm of the couch, which he had catapulted over in a state of panic. The time traveller descended from the machine, pulling his helmet off and swearing loudly. "You have to be fucking kidding me! Did you redecorate?" "What? No," Russ said. I moved the table to vacuum, but no wonder I crashed the thing. I was aiming for the space in the middle of the... You're Russ, right?" "Yeah." "The 24th. I'm Russ the 62nd. You're... What?" "I'm you. A cooler version of you, apparently. I'm from a parallel dimension." The time traveller looked around the room, then back at the time machine, and swore again. "In which you are... who? Marty McFly? Haha, fuck you. You got a surgery in this place?" "A surgery? No. Why?" "Sorry, I expected this place to have a surgery. Listen, I don't have a lot of time. I'm bleeding pretty bad, and they're hot on my tail." "Who is? What do you mean, will you stop bleeding on the carpet?" Oh. The interdimensional visitor managed a weak smile before staggering to the couch and half sitting, half falling. "There's a version of you. Russ for 109th. He's got hold of a machine like mine and he's heading through all the various dimensions, killing versions of you. I'm pretty much done for, but I thought I could give you the information needed to arm yourself for when he arrives." "Well, why is he doing that?" "How should I know? Maybe he's just the slightly more sociopathic version of you. Perhaps he thinks that killing off other dimensional versions of himself somehow means there's fewer people distracting from the real him." "What am I supposed to do with this information?" "Run away! Kill him! Something! Help me get back in my machine before he arrives." "How long do I have?" Russ asked. He briefly considered breaking the bottle of tequila for an improvised weapon, but promptly discarded it as a stupid idea. "About 3 minutes, I'd reckon." Russ the 24th thought about this as he helped the 62nd version of himself back into the time machine. He definitely didn't want to die, so running away was an option. Or he could kill the other version of himself. That was a bizarrely good idea, actually, if it was true that killing off the interdimensional version somehow had an effect on you, like it was making you less diluted. He had been feeling more like himself lately. He could steal the machine and go on his own rampage. Then he'd be the only... Wait, was he crazy? Going on a killing spree, especially when there were vigilantes like this guy trying to stop the whole process? Why would he want to... At that point, Russ the 62nd shot him in the chest. The machine kicked into life again, leaving a slightly burnt impression of the carpet, and Russ, the real Russ, our protagonist, dying on the floor. The thing about birthdays, Russ thought in his final moments, was perhaps they were less about getting another year older and more about surviving another year in a world intent on making sure you didn't. That was perhaps the best gift of all, learning a lesson about your own mortality. Actually, fuck that, he'd rather have cake.